Hey gang, this is Jonathan again from Legacy Coaching, and I'm here in New Zealand, not far from Taupo at the moment, at a place called Hooker Falls, and it's just amazing. I'm going to walk around onto the bridge and show you what I see, but it got me really thinking about how we talk about a stress response and what happens in us when we get stressed. This is going to get noisy because I'm going to walk across this bridge, and behind me and in front of me are these roaring rapids. Check that out on one side. Boom, there it is. Pretty amazing actually. But I guess what I wanted to share is this whole concept about stress. And you know, stress is only a short-term thing. It doesn't last very long. And if you have a look just back up here, up in there, the water's pretty still before it hits these rapids. It's only in these rapids for, I don't know, maybe 500 meters or so. It's really turbulent, really crazy just down there behind me. Check that out. And it's loud. But part of what happens in our life when we hit these rapids and we come through this really turbulent season, and we do, everybody does, is that way back up behind me, you can see in the still water there, in the still waters in our life, before we hit the rapids, that's the time to prepare for what we're about to go through. Because these rapids, they happen in our life where things get a little wild, they get a little noisy, they get quite turbulent. But the key thing is they don't last very long. And if you look at over here behind me, where the rapids finish down this way, you'll see that again it hits still water and everything settles down. It's only, as I said, about 500 meters. As we prepare before the rapids, the key thing is to be prepared, knowing that it's going to happen sooner or later, and have everything in place to deal with the turbulent places in our lives. Know that it doesn't last long, and sooner or later we're going to hit still water. And when we hit that still water, that's the recovery time. That's the time to recover from this turbulence, because we're likely to hit it again. If we're not prepared for the turbulent seasons in life, when we get to the rapids, it's going to be wild. It's going to knock us out. Might even kill us, you know, that's burnout. That's where things just break down. But likewise, if we don't spend enough time recovering once we get out of the rapids, if we keep living in what was dangerous and scary and overwhelming, then that recovery stage doesn't prepare us for the next time. So just a thought, the three key parts of the stress response is to recognize, respond, and recover from stress. The beforehand time is where we have to recognize something could be coming up. The response happens in the turbulence, and then recovery on the other side. I don't know, I was just here and I thought of that, and I thought, man, that's profound, and that's profound for me too. I'm gonna capture that, that's why I wanted to do it. Hey listen, I've got a webinar coming up in a couple of days where I'm going to talk more about the stress response and about recognizing, responding, and recovering to stress, so that you can get on top of things and so that you can actually overcome stress and start to make an impact. If you want to join me, click on the link which will be close by here. And I'd love to join you online for a 1-hour webinar where we talk about how to recognize, respond, and recover to stress properly, so that you can overcome stress and really start to make an impact, so that the turbulence in your life doesn't drown you. Leave me a comment below. Tell me the seasons that you've been in turbulence and rapids, and how you've recovered from it afterwards. I'd love to hear and love to have a conversation. Anyway, this is Jonathan from the Hooker Falls in North Island, New Zealand, for Legacy Coaching. Have an awesome day. Bye.